Und damit willkommen zurück zu The Great Ace Attorney. Resovle 2 Chronicles, meine Lieben. Und der Sachverhalt mit dem Autopsiebericht. Oh wait, this is 10 years old from the autopsy of Lord Clint von Six. What? My brother's autopsy report? I'm pleased to see the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth. Ja, denn wir wollen ja immer noch den Sachverhalt mit dem Reaper aufklären, dementsprechend Order in Court. What is the reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report here, Consul? This the autopsy report of Professor's final victim is an indelible link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant. Not that occurs that name again, the professor. I've personally researched all of the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time autopsy report was considered scarily to the victim's souls, and for a member of the aristocracy like Lord von Six, Lord Clint von Six it was unthinkable, but someone important the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure, and it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible on the document. As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed provide evidence that conclusively proved Sorge was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave that fatal clue behind. Oh yes, oh man, indeed. That was the key to indicating the professor for his crime and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. It enabled Lord von Six here to avenge his brother's senseless death with a marvelous victory in court. Marvelous victory, was it? I wonder if that's really true. What could the same be said if it turned out that the key piece for evidence in question was in fact fabricated? The inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all concluded together to case an innocent Japanese man as a mass murder and send him to his death. That's outrageous. And now 10 years later, for the same reason, the secret has been threatened and needs processing, which is why the inspector and coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? by someone in power in Japan and Britain, using the two killers recruited was assassin exchange. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Order at once. 10 years ago, my father was convicted in his very courtroom as a mass murderer to be sentenced to death. But it was all a shame, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to pretend, whatever the cost. Wärst du jetzt auch hinter dir, oder wie soll ich das verstehen? You'll have to forgive me if I feel completed to toast this wrinkle nippons and tenacity of purpose here. However, ein zerstörte Liebe, okay. He who fails to quench his emotions in the courtroom failed as a lawyer. Come on, Kazuma, you know this won't wash. You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago. You must see without evidence that's nothing more than a wild accusation. As it happens, I have evidence. What? Ich kann dafür Beweise haben. Und woher stammen die eigentlich? Das ist hoffentlich erklärt er uns. Sagen wir es mal so, wie es ist. The court has heard I crossed the channel to France with correction on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin recruiting to kill Shishiro Shigoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth. What? Truth? The truth about the evidence and the acknowledge what I'd already deduced, that there's a closely guarded secret about what went on in that other sea 10 years ago. What a secret? I know nothing of any secret. While we waited for my supposed mark in Shigoku's cabin, I drove my clan illustrious sword Karuma before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was. Right, I see. You are that Asogi's young lad, are you? And what are you going? You are gonna cute me down with that thing? Is that will very much dependent on the answers you give to my question. I want to know what really happened 10 years ago. The truth, that's all. Before we get into it, let me make one thing clear. I still believe your father was the professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately, back then, we didn't have the evidence we needed to make the crime stick. So you admit it then? The evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated. It was for good of the god of the country. Anyway, I was just following orders. Orders? What exactly did you do speak? I am not saying another word. If even if your life depends on it. That's right, even then. So that's when the tip of the sword broke. Okay, so if the results of Clint von 6 out of C were fabricated, then the investigating officer Gregson and the lead coroner Wilson must have known about it, and they can only have been ordered to pervert the course of justice in that way by one man. The man leading the case for the prosecution, Barock von 6. In other words, the defendant did have cause to organize this change of assassin. Exactly, and as was established earlier, it was to have been the Reaper himself who liaised with Shikoku in Japan to arrange the exchange. So it follows that the Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in this courtroom to take Barock von 6. Also irgendwie kann ich das noch nicht so nennenswerterweise glauben, muss ich mal zugeben. Also irgendwie kann ich das nicht glauben. Muss ich mal fairerweise einfach mal so die Traum springen, muss ich mal fairerweise zugeben, mal nennenswert, ich weiß es nicht. Kazuma Sogi. What you have just told the court, are you absolutely certain of your facts? Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for that trial 10 years ago? I heard it with my own ears. This is a shameful admission. In that case, I know. The name of the Reaper. What? Not von 6? I gave no such orders. I know that for Curtain, which narrows down the remaining possibilities to one. Ich meine, narrows, irgendwie übersetzen lassen, mal sagen. Verengt, Also quasi, dass er dann für ihn verengt, der Kreis der also der Möglichkeit, muss man mal sagen. If not von 6, if Lord von 6 isn't the one behind all this, then yes, there is only one other person who could have done something like that. Sie hat da irgendwie so den Verdacht, muss ich mal jetzt halt gerade so einwenden. Nebenbei bemerkt, weil mir ist halt so die Tatsache, dass halt unser Vorsitzender Richter dann der Strippenzieher da ist, also dementsprechend, dass der dann der Reaper an und für sich, also dementsprechend, das habe ich so den actually Verdacht. I believe I know who it is too. I just had a feeling that the name was going to come up. The true identity of the famous Reaper of the Bailey is Mel Strongheart. Das ist der einzig nennenswerte Persönlichkeit oder Person, muss man sagen, wo das dann hätte sein können. Weil der war ja auch schon im Vorfeld der Lord Chief Justice. So will ich wo ich davon ausgehe, also dementsprechend eine andere plausible Person könnte das jetzt halt nicht sein. Zumindest gehe ich davon aus. Er ist ja tot. Dementsprechend er ist der Beschuldigte, zwar noch am Leben. Er ist der aktuelle Staatsanwalt. Dementsprechend er ist ja quasi der Mörder von ihm hier. Also dementsprechend bleibt er dann eigentlich nur er. Weil sie kann ja damit nichts zu tun haben. Mike, sie ist ja viel zu jung dafür. Wenn man da 10 Jahre abgibt, wie soll das dann möglich sein? Und sie ist erst 10. Also dementsprechend fällt sie komplett raus. Und er rein hypothetisch ja, aber das ist sehr, sehr weit hergeholt. Also dementsprechend kann es ja bloß er sein, muss man sagen. The only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy results is the Lord Chief Justice himself, Lord Male Strongheart. Lord Strongheart? Das heißt, der einzige, der näher nennen soll, weiß ich da übrig bleibt, I guess. Yes, it's true that 10 years ago the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court, but he only took over the case after his brother, Lord Clint von Six, had been killed. I can only assume that this is the most inappropriate joke in British judicial history. Das ist kein Joke, das ist eine Tradition, dass wir die wildesten Theorien hier aufstellen und die dann beweisen müssen. Bedauerlicherweise. Well, Lord von Six. 10 years ago I was very new to my profession. I had a burning desire to avenge my brother's death, so I played for control of the case. 10 the investigations to the point the supplication of the Lord to allow my brother's corpse to be examined. All the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you. I've spent my life since then believing I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle the trial, but I see now I was very, very much mistaken. I was a ugly influential force that accused the inspector and the coroner that to break now 10 years ago. When then was still felt decided later on the other side of the road by Shishiro Chigoku or Strongheart. Everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the Reaper of the Bailey. Oh boy, irgendwie hat das irgendwie. Ja, haut der Tax dann mal wieder da drauf. Okay, give. Oh boy. The court awaits your response, my lord. This may very well go down in British political history, but I assure you it is no joke. Consider this formal accusal by the defense. It doesn't warrant a response. A formal accusal, don't be absurd. Defense claims are utter nonsense, are wild fantasy at best. You're not going to defend yourself. You claim there was same wrongdoing with Lord Clint von 6 out of C. That's utterly untrue. But I hear it from Gregson's own lips. He admitted to it. And where is your evidence? What? Gregson's dead now. Unless you were thinking of summoning a ghost with a stain. You mean to say I forget how the system works in your little backwater country. But in the course of the British Empire, without evidence there is no case. I have no intentions of entertaining some white fantasies that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything. Ja, da hat er leider irgendwie recht. Dafür braucht man nur mal einen Beweis. Aber natürlich irgendeinen Beweis. Das kommt jetzt aber auch wirklich darauf an, muss man sagen, wiefern sie das haben, was sie da dann haben wollen, I guess. Order, in following Inspector Greg's further and in the light of this as well. There's really no one left who could testify about the events of 10 years ago, is there? Mir würde da jetzt noch eine weitere Person einfallen, die jetzt fairerweise über den Sachverhalt von vor 10 Jahren aussagen könnte. Das wäre Professor Mikotoba, der könnte dann aussagen, so that was the real purpose of the scene exchange. Oder unser vorheriger Täter, Shishiro Shigoku, der könnte auch noch was darüber aussagen. This court has no business ranking over the course of a case that was concluded a decade ago. Aber der Shishiro Shigoku würde da nichts aussagen, schätze ich mal. The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically indicted. I take it there are no objections. Kazuma. He's more or less waited for his full life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we can do? Wir sind eigentlich was tun, muss man sagen, fairerweise. Dementsprechend müssen wir da jetzt quasi einen Einspruch oder sowas machen. Dementsprechend läuft es daraus hinaus. Is there no other avenue we can go down in pursuit of the truth about what happened all those years ago? If only there was some who could testify about Clint von 6 Autopsy Report. Und wenn es jetzt direkt auf den Autopsy Report dann hinausläuft, dann kann ja eigentlich bloß Professor Mikotoba darüber was aussagen, weil der hat ja das eigentlich damals gemacht, so wie wir das in Erfahrung gebracht haben. Dementsprechend ist eigentlich bloß die nennenswerte Möglichkeit, dass er was macht. Dass da was ist, I guess. He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks, even so far as dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to insult Dr. Wissen's silence. Hence, Dr. Sis won't say anything against Strongheart. But there's still one rare ray of hope. Dementsprechend, actually there is one person who could still testify about that autopsy. Don't be ridiculous. There's no one left. Who will tell me? Kazuma, please, this strike can't end, not yet. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for the truth. Ja, dementsprechend dafür sollte man das auch fairerweise wirklich tun, muss man sagen. The person then the defense would like to call to the stand to testify about the autopsy Plot von 6. Wie ich schon erwähnt habe, ist Chuchin Nikotoba even help us another Japanese. Ja, aber was darüber jetzt halt noch nennenswerterweise zu berichten gibt und vor allem inwiefern was er auszusagen hat, dies und vieles mehr sehen wir im nächsten Part. Vielen Dank fürs Einschalten und bis zum nächsten Mal. Auf Wiedersehen.